What's up, guys? In this video, we're going to be talking about 7 meta ads mistakes that you're probably all making, all of them. It is very common for people to be doing these things, and these things are so simple, yet absolutely detrimental to your ad. So in this video, I'm really going to be giving away the keys to the castle because these are such simple tweaks that you can make to your ads right away. And I guarantee you are at least making one of these. Even some of the most experienced ads people are making at least one of these mistakes. So let's get into it. This is the first ad we're going to be going over, and this one actually has pretty much all of the mistakes on it that I want to talk about. I just went into Canva templates, I typed in home renovation, and it came up. So let's break it down. The first thing that you do not want to be putting in your ads is your logo. You do not want to be putting your logo in the ads because it's already there. It's already part of the experience. Right here, when someone sees your ad on Facebook or Instagram, they will see your logo or whatever your profile picture is. So maybe if you're a personal brand like myself and I do have a picture of me up here, maybe a Social Bamboo logo would be okay. It's also not the worst thing if it's on your ad, if it is very out of the way. If it's in the bottom right section, which is the ending of the ad, and it is like a 50% transparency watermark, then it's also okay. If it really just fills in the blank, or maybe the name of your company is problem you're solving is, like maybe you've done a really good job at naming your company and it's either named off of the problem you solve or the desire that you deliver for people. And in that case, you would just want to say the name of your company because that would be descriptive enough of what you're selling. So those would be some rare exceptions, but otherwise your logo is right here and your company name is right here. And especially when you give it this top left real estate, which is the first text on the screen. So either they're reading this first or they are reading this first. Either way, you don't want them to read your logo first. You would rather them read home renovation services as the first thing. The second thing that they are doing wrong is they have a person in this ad. And if you guys think that it's crazy so far, just wait until number 7. It's going to get even crazier. These very simple mistakes that people do. This one's a big one though. People in ads. The only time that you should put people in your ads is when it's needed to explain the clarity of your offer. So if you are selling clothing or jewelry, then yes, it can help to have a model wearing it because it helps the clarity of what you are selling. They can now see how big that necklace is or how the shirt fits on them. Then it helps. In this case, it is actually extremely distracting. And what you see first when you look at this ad is you first see the guy and then you see the logo. And let me break this down to you. The equivalent of what is happening right now, if let's say that I am this Rimberio company that is fake from Canva and you are the customer, you just came up to me and I decide to pull out my phone and show you a picture of one of our workers. That's the exact same thing as what is happening right now. I'm just like, here's the picture of us. Oh, by the way, here's our logo. And yeah, we do home renovation services. That is exactly what happened. And the reason why you're not comprehending it like that is because you're like, this looks good. This is like a nice design. I feel like this ad is going to do great. But all you did is that you showed someone a picture of one of your workers, and then you showed them your logo, and then you told them what you do. So when you read your ad from top left to bottom right, then it should be the proper order as if you were talking to someone standing right in front of you. Okay, that is an advanced tip, and it's something that I recommend you constantly go back and think about every time you make an ad. You can read your ad from top to bottom and it should all make sense. The other thing that they are doing wrong is they have their phone number on here. And you might think, yeah, but I want them to call me. I'm sure you do. They are on Facebook or Instagram. They don't go from social media to a call. Furthermore, they don't do that when they can't even click on this, and they would have to look at social media, go over to their phone, type it in, go back to social media, go back to the phone, go back to social media, go back to the phone, then press call. It is not at all how it works. Even setting your ad as the link to call you is a terrible idea because it is jumping the gun too much. The only time I've ever seen a business do well with an ad that leads to a phone call are emergency services. So this would be emergency plumbing or emergency tow truck services, to name a couple. couple. If someone goes on Google, they type in tow truck and it says call tow truck near you right now, they're down. They're not trying to be like, let me check out their reviews. They're just like, let me just call the first tow truck company that comes up. It's like where their head's at because they're on the side of the road waiting to get picked up. This person is on Instagram and they are enjoying their day. So they're not really trying to be like, I should call these guys. And it's also not a good idea because if you don't pick up, you don't know who they are, you don't have their contact information saved. The ad can only have one call to action. You can't say, give us a call, and then also click this link so that you can fill out the form and then give us your phone number that way, and then we'll call you, and also check out our website to check out our reviews. You can't say all of these things, and that's sometimes what people will do, like check out our reviews, like anything like that, right? Like you can only promote one thing at a time. So a phone number as well as a website should never be on there. It's either what is linked or it shouldn't exist on here, because everything that is on here that doesn't help sell hurts. If it doesn't help, it hurts. It's not just like, oh, well, might as well put it on there just in case they need it. Absolutely not. This is hurting your ad. This is distracting them from what they're doing. Let me give you another really advanced tip. Most people create ads for dumb people with high attention spans when you need to create ads for smart people with low attention spans. And doing this where you're like, I'm just going to put the number there, that is one, assuming that they're dumb because they're not going to be able to just click on your Instagram page and then find your phone number easily that way, or go onto your website, which will be very easy for them to find now that they know the name of your company. It is not hard for them to find your phone number. They can even go to Apple Maps or Google Maps and type in the name of your company and find your phone number if they really want it. They are sure they can find your phone number, and you should be sure that they can find your phone number too. As long as it's not completely buried from them, then yeah, they can find it. So furthermore, you have to assume that they have very low attention span, especially because the nature of being on social media. But you can't say, hey, here's our phone number, also click the link. No, just click the link. Gotta be simple. It's gotta say just, hey, and we know you've got limited attention span. Here's the one thing that you should do. So that is another really key tip for you that I recommend you think about at the end of the next series of ads you make. Really think about that tip or play back this video. The other thing that you don't want to put on your ads are buttons. So buttons would be like if I put at the bottom here, book now. Why don't I want to put book now on the ad like this or down here? It's because right here is a button that says book now. It says book now right here on the bottom of the ad. It says book now, it says sign up, it says learn more. So if it says book now, then I just said book now twice. It would be the exact equivalent if someone standing right in front of me, I was like book now, book now. It's really completely redundant, and it is exactly what I just showed you there is what is happening in the buyer's mind. So you don't have to put a button because the button is already right here. So think about the final ad experience is what's really key here. A lot of times when you're new, especially, and it makes sense, you're just looking at Canva and you're like, this is the ad. But in reality, you know that your profile picture is here, your company name is here, a button is here, a headline is here on Facebook, and then a caption is here as well on Facebook and Instagram. And they are definitely going to see the first 2 to 3 sentences without clicking the see more button. So I know that the first 2 to 3 sentences exist and are already part of this ad. And I know the rest would have to be clicked to see more for the rest to go. So I already know exactly what I'm creating from the end standpoint at the beginning. So just take that into mind once you get into uploading your ads in the system. Relook at them again with all the other bells and whistles about it. The last tip that I'm going to give you guys is the most controversial or the one that you probably haven't heard before. But what you don't want to do on your ads is use hooks. Hooks are something that you only want to be doing on organic content. And what a hook is just an attention grabber that has the goal of grabbing your attention, increasing watch time. I like to use what I like to call our call outs. So let's talk about the hook of this ad. This was another Canva template, Pure Touch. This might makes someone like, oh, what is pure touch? This is captivating. This is a hook because it's curiosity provoking rather than buyer intent provoking, right? So not even provoking, but it's curiosity intent ad rather than buyer intent headlines is what I'm talking about. And when you have a curiosity intent headline, this would only work if on the next page you were trying to get them to watch a very long video. And that used to be an ad strategy 2015 to 2020 that people would do very curiosity driven hooks. And then on the next page, they would get taken to watching a 20-minute to even an hour presentation, and people were willing to give it the time of day, mostly because social media wasn't nearly as entertaining at that time as it is today. So it was easier to get people to leave the app and give something else their attention. But pure touch, like this absolutely means nothing. Okay, what is a way better headline is like all natural skin serum. Like literally just saying the name of the product is an infinitely better headline than trying to use a hook. And by hook, I mean as a curiosity intent thing that does not clarify what is being sold. You can use something that is kind of a hook as well as a call out all in one. If I said 80 or 78% of people who use this retinol have zero acne in 3 months. I can do this because I distinguish that it is a retinol. You have to distinguish in your headline what is being sold, who is being sold to, or the problem that is being solved. And it's very common that your ad does not do that in the headline. The headline is too hook based. It's too curiosity based. It's too like, how do I go viral? How do you go viral with paid ads? You pay for it because you don't have to worry about views. You pay for views. When you look at impressions, you're basically just looking at amount spent, is the reality of just looking at the impressions metric on ads. You are just paying for views. So you don't have to try to get a bunch of likes or comments. It's a bonus if you get those, but if you strive for those over the sales messaging being dialed in and just catering to people that are qualified customers that are actively looking to spend money in your market, in this case, the skincare market, because Facebook does know who is actively looking to buy a new skincare routine this week. You are running ads to people who are actively trying to buy this. And what happens is a lot of the best clients, they see this ad and then they click shop now. They don't say, oh, like, comment, love this, shop. They don't do that. They just click shop because they're like, yes, I need to buy this. You're really not trying to get likes. You're not trying to be funny. You're not trying to be witty. You are trying to be clear. And this is the difference between organic content and paid content. And if you can create a post that has organic viral capabilities as well as generates buyer intent traffic, then you're a genius. Like, it is very difficult. A company that was really good at this would be the Harmon brothers. They put together the purple mattress ads, the Squatty Potty ads, William Painter sunglasses. They've done a fair amount of other things too, but they make really funny ads that even if you post it organically, it will go viral. And it also does generate buyer intent traffic. It's very difficult to do. And the good news is you don't need to focus on that. But what you do need to know is that unless you make your ad sales friendly, then it won't get sales. And a lot of times when you're trying to make your ad organic friendly, content friendly, entertainment friendly, it comes at the cost of making an ad that is sales friendly. So just tell people what your product does. Say it in the most clear way possible. Leverage the truths about your product that are the most compelling. Sales is simply the ability to leverage compelling truths. That's a Derek Videll quote, by the way. I just made that up. It is the ability to leverage compelling truths. You don't have to lie. You just have to tell people what is true. Why would I say this if it's true? I wouldn't say this otherwise, right? And you're blessed if you have a statistic like this as a company, which does take a while to accurately and ethically generate. But, this would be an example of like, it's got a little bit of hook appeal, but it has to be clear. The product is identified. The problem is identified. In this case, it does both of those. So you need to identify the problem, the product itself, or the audience that is being sold to. That is another tip. I really strongly recommend that you watch this back if you want to gain a more advanced understanding of ads, because although these are all basic tips, really understanding the psychology of why I'm saying all of these things is what's going to really bring you to that next level. And if you want to get to expert or master status in the quickest way possible, I encourage you to check out my Done With You guided coaching program, where we will create your ads, launch them together, optimize them together, get your first sales, automate your whole process. We will literally build a successful campaign, and I will teach you how to run ads every step of the way in 1 month's time. We do 4 Zoom calls, 30 days of unlimited texting. That is all I need to turn you into an expert for running ads for your company. So check that out below. It's socialbamboo.com/DWY. Subscribe to the channel if you got some value, and I'll see you in the next video.